welcome to my channel. I'm Ali from Ali G Art Designs. So today we are going to have a look at a bit of a galaxy theme. I'm calling it the Nebula, but I've got to say it didn't come easy. I had a lot of challenges with it, but I just thought I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to work with it, and I've got to say that the end result is absolutely fantastic. I sort of thought about it and I started to reflect on the fact that it really did give a bit of a life lesson. You know, sometimes when things don't work out like we would like them to, it's so much easier just to give up, scrape the paint, start again. But no, I thought I'm going to persevere with this, and we can be like that with life. And I hope you get something out of this painting more than just what you're watching, and maybe it might help you just to keep on going and get a really great result for whatever that thing is that you're aiming for. All right, well, let's get started. Let's get messy and paint. So here we have it. My canvas is 30 by 60 centimeters, and I have done the masking tape at the back, or the painter's tape, and we get started with just doing my edges. So as you can see, it's a very transparent color. I'd like to be able to tell you exactly what that color is, but it was a little bit of a lot of things, but mainly it was the dark sea with pearl. So look, I don't normally put like a pearl or a metallic in my base, but it happened to be already made up, so decided to go with it again, just going with it. Yeah, and because it's a dark color, it's good to cover all the sides. So this is a little bit of a look at the consistency that I paint with for my base. As you can see, it's very fluid, moved around very easy, and just covering the base. So even at this point, I was a little uncertain about what direction I was going to go at, because I knew what I wanted to do, but I was umming and ahhing on how I would go about it. So I decided that, oh yeah, no, it'll work. I'll just, stretch it all out over the edges and everything like that, and then go to the plan that I thought would work, but it didn't. But anyway, bear with me as we get to that spot. So canvas nice and covered. Give it a torch, and off we go. So I'm putting on just some global gold. So this is kind of where I went wrong. I really shouldn't have stretched out my canvas. I should have left it as a puddle and then put this on. I was trying to do a bit of a swipe the way Molly from Molly's Artistry does, but I shouldn't have stretched my canvas out, because obviously the plan is that you stretch out the cells, but I didn't do it that way. And so I'm going along with this in the hope that it would work, and just using the cell activator, which is just Amsterdam black with Floetrol, and just using, well, yeah, using a spatula to do it. Now, I actually turned my camera off and forgot to turn it back on, so hence the quick jump to the mess. So here it is. It's like, what is that? So it really just did not work. What it was in my head, it did not come out on the canvas. So, I'm looking at it, and I've judged it, I'd assessed it and thought, "What am I doing?" Tried to fix it, but then just decided, "Well, let's just go on with the top coat." So I did decide to try and use the catalyst wedge. Maybe that would sort of work, but there was just too much paint for it to actually have any effect. So forget that idea. And here we go, just using a little bit of remains of some white that I mixed up, so it's just global white. And even at this point, I had completely changed what I was going to do. I wasn't going to put little branches on it. I was just going to leave it as one swirl sort of thing, but I just kept going, and but it worked out in the end. So with my colours, I had white, that other colour was cool blue. This one is cobalt blue. Then I've got the magenta on top of that. Then I've got global pearl white on top. Again, it gives great shimmer. And then doing the iridescent, this is Pebeo iridescent blue green, and then iridescent green blue on top of that. And then finishing it off with some gold. So still deciding what to do with that mess underneath my colours. But again, leaving it there. Let's see what happens when I start blowing it out, and maybe I could blow over the top of it, and that's what I was thinking at the time, just to see what might happen. Just giving it another torch, get rid of all those bubbles. The blowout itself was okay. Lots of colour, very pretty. And again, I apologise for the glare. I have actually solved that problem I thought I'd had before by turning my ring light off, but that didn't seem to be the solution. But I have figured out what the problem was. Hopefully future videos won't have them. Just doing my standard blowout on it with lots of colour. Did a bit of a backward swipe there because it looked like it had a hole, but that turned out to be quite pretty, that bit, as you'll see in the end. So blowout looking nice, even though that was not my intended type of blowout, but anyway, still worked. Just roll with the punches. Just using my mouth again to blow out, just to spread it out. I really do love it when you get a bit of transparency with it, and then it gives a gradient. And sometimes with blowing it out, you just get that more concentrated area, and just you get a bit more control. So still thinking what to do with this bit. So I did end up scraping that bit, covering it with some more base colour. And just decided that let's just make it something in the background. So I started to blow on it, and I started to feel I was getting somewhere, and it looked a little bit more like it was meant to be in the picture. Just trying to add that up, and it actually looked a little bit like a fireball happening in the background, which is kind of nice when you think of that in space. There's pockets of stuff happening. Not being overly scientific with my galaxy. So just putting an extra, what I did with the top part, or bottom part, just putting a little bit more gold just to try and make it look like an extension of that gold flare in the background. And that I was really happy with that. So, yeah, I mean, the gold does go a little bit green on the dark cover, but at the end of the day, there's a bit of green in the actual base as well. But that's what gold does on dark backgrounds. And yeah, I just found that just looked like the extension of the other gold, and it really looked nice. I was very tempted at this point to do finger swipes through it, but I just thought, every picture I do that, and I thought I'm going to just leave it. and just see how it goes. And again, it did pay off in the end. So just fixing it up, putting a bit more gold there just to equal it out a bit. And I did notice too, because I used the cell activator to start with, those gold bits started to really sell up. And in its place, it looked really nice because the rest of the picture didn't have a lot of cells, whereas that gold sort of just really made it like a unique sort of focal point. So I thought, why not finish it off with some stars to really give it that galaxy look? I just used some silver there just to sort of spray a little bit of dusted stars around the place. Check this little beauty out. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, even though it wasn't quite what I'd planned, but I just want to show you the shimmer that's coming through there. It's so pretty, but it's really sparkly. Got some of those stars there. I love this bit here, actually this bit here, that you can actually see this. It looks like you're looking through the nebula and seeing the stars on the other side, where that transparency is. But really happy with it. Hope you like it. We'll check it out when it dries, and let's hope it's still pretty by then. Okay. So here it is, looking absolutely beautiful. I have given it a coat of resin and added just a little bit of sparkle to it, and it just is amazing. I am so in love with it. The resin has just brought out the metallics, and it just glows. That is just gorgeous. There's that gold that I added, and I'm so happy I did. Really does look amazing.